This is Lon Winters with Graphic Elephants.
This is Jimmy Lamp.
This is Matt Vassallo with the RhinstoneWorld.com.
And you're listening to the Two Regular Guys podcast.
And you are listening to the Two Regular Guys podcast.
Hosted by...
My name is Terry Combs, RG, regular guy.
And Aaron Montgomery.
We're just regular guys having fun and trying to make a living in this really cool and exciting industry.
I think we all want to succeed 100% of the time.
Seek to understand before I try and make myself understood.
Bring a ton of great information.
Coming to you live from somewhere dark, dirty, and dank.
All right, welcome into the show. It is Friday, May 19th, 2023. I'm Terry Combs, and you can find me at terrycombs.com.
And I'm Aaron Montgomery, and you can find me over at oursuccessgroup.com. Today, Terry, we're going to be joined by Theresa Hegel from ASI. It's been a little bit, so we've got to remedy that. I'm glad we're finally remedying that situation there, but it's been a little bit, and we're excited to talk to her. Normally, we have a different subject, and we may bring that up a little bit, but probably. But what we really want to talk to her about is this new program initiative they've got going on over there at ASI. Promo for the Planet initiative is going to be the bulk of our conversation today. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think I'm planning to learn a lot. So Terry, you have a notepad ready to take notes for me?
I do. I'm ready to.
Okay, thank you.
Junior yellow legal pad. So, I ran into Theresa at, I think it was Atlantic City. I have to ask her. And we're like, hey, we need to. I'm like, we need to get you back on the show, and she agreed. I need to be back on the show, so I'm excited that we're able to do this today.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. So we're gonna have that shortly. Say good morning. Some folks that have checked in early here. We've got Chuck checking in. Good morning to Chuck and Kingsbury Crafts. Good morning, Jerry. Hello. So if you guys will get out there, make sure that you go and share this, and let's get some more live viewers in the comment section in there and joining us here today. So, Terry, beyond that, we've got a news segment again here this morning. We had a little hiatus last week, but back with some really good news here. So are you ready to dive into that section here?
I
Terry?
am. I didn't even get a chance to talk to Adrian because I came in hot today, 1 minute before we went on the air. So
coming in hot. All good. Well, let's go ahead and have that news segment. So Eric, whenever you are ready, sir.
Hey, Aaron and Terry. Always great to spend a Friday with you and the regulators. Thanks for having me on to share industry news from the screen printing space. Our first news item today, t-shirt maker sued by Trader Joe's. According to Winsight Grocery Business, the California-based grocery chain has filed a lawsuit against apparel manufacturer T-Shirt AT Fashion LLC for selling provocative and controversial t-shirts that incorporate the Trader Joe's logo. The court filing says Trader Joe's contacted the t-shirt maker multiple times since 2021, asking the company to cease the sale of two shirts which use a design bearing similarity to the grocer's logo. TJ's is suing to permanently stop AT Fashion from selling the shirts and recover any profits made from their sale, up to 3 times ascertainable damages. Trader Joe's said in the filing it believes T-Shirt AT Fashion LLC is a fictitious name and is unable to determine the company's true name. On its website, AT Fashion lists a physical address in Cleveland, Texas. Up next, new coffee table book features 350 plus silkscreen concert posters. Higher Ground Music Venue in Burlington, Vermont released a curated collection of more than 350 concert posters titled Echo, a survey at 25 years of sound, art, and ink on paper. The book highlights acts ranging from Phish and Bob Dylan to Maggie Rogers, Anderson, Paak, and Wilco. The final product is designed to resemble a 10 by 10 inch stack of silkscreen posters. Iskra Print Collective and Gary Blodgett of Color Shack printed 367 posters using fine mesh screens, water-based inks, and American Tempo 2230 screen printing press. And finally, in honor of Mental Health Awareness Month, Screen Printing Magazine is offering 30 techniques screen printers can use to overcome anxiety. When our Brain Squad survey members were asked how often they get severely anxious about business-related matters, 18% of respondents said once a day, 23% said once a week, and 15% said a couple times a month. So that's 56% of Brain Squad members in decision-making positions reporting they experience severe anxiety monthly. So courtesy of our Brain Squad members, mental health experts, and psychology writers, the article provides 30 tips, including actions to take when anxiety strikes, coping strategies, and ways to build resilience. So I hope the article helps you in times of need and that you'll share it with your employees who also may be looking for ways to overcome anxiety in the workplace. That's it for me. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend.
All right. Hey, Aaron, I get anxious every Friday morning. Wonder what that's about.
Yeah, right around 10 a.m. Central Time, right? You've had to put up with me for 499 episodes, Terry. That's
499.
anxiety-inducing for sure. So, what a great share.
Maybe the episodes 1 through 10 were a little more anxiety-inducing. Since I log in 1 minute before the show, maybe I'm not that anxious.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't feel anxious, Terry. I don't know. Well, what a great share. Good news segment, plus that wonderful resource there that get out there and make sure that you share that. That's some great stuff.
I'm loving the coffee table book. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Cool. Well, thanks very much, Screen Printing Magazine. Make sure that you guys are subscribed to that. All right, Terry. Well, the next thing that people, I think, tune in for, I don't know. I think they do because I love it, but who knows? long as I'm enjoying it. We've got a dad joke from one of our regulars. In fact, I believe he is here in the comments live today. I just saw him say hi earlier. Jerry Dahlheimer shared this dad joke with me. Are you ready for this, Terry?
I'm ready. Let's hear it.
All right. And you can bring Skynet jokes, whatever you have to do. Okay. All right. Just setting you up a little bit. Okay, Terry, what do you call two monkeys sharing an Amazon account?
I don't know, Aaron. What do you call two monkeys sharing an Amazon account?
Primates. And we even have the parentheses. That's a head shaker.
Eric has explained it on screen for our podcast listeners.
Thank you. Yes.
Eric always has to go in there and those little play on words and explain them in parentheses. So, and Amazon is Skynet, and all hail Skynet.
Oh, yeah, Skynet. The other for the podcast listeners on screen, Eric just popped up a thanks, Jerry Dahlheimer, but the thanks were in quotes. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, we appreciate that, Jerry. And Jerry, you'll also be happy to know that I've actually utilized that joke also in my seminars. So that's getting some mileage out there. I'd have to share the image with you guys, but yeah, for sure.
You know, it's a new dad joke. I mean, 10 years ago, there was no Amazon.
That's a good point. So. Very good point. All right. We've got also got Barb checking in here this morning from North Central Minnesota, and Kingsbury says good morning. All right, Terry, let's keep this going. We've got to get to Theresa here, and we've got lots of great stuff to talk to her about. So keep us on track, would you?
Absolutely. Before we go any further, we want to thank everyone for checking out the Two Regular Guys podcast. We are always looking for new guests. So if you or anyone you know would like to join us, go to calendly.com/2 regular guys with your show ideas. We would love for you to be a part of our new show intros. They get a little dated. So every couple of years we go in and try to get some new recordings of folks at the beginning of the show. And so send us your videos or just select the mic option. It's really easy to do. So go out there and do a quick recording for us. And hey, if you mess up, just start again. And we would love to have some new voices in our intros. So if you're also listening on the podcast version of the show, we would appreciate you sharing the Two Regular Guys with all of your industry friends so they can become regulators too. And we would appreciate you giving us feedback on anywhere you're listening to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Amazon, all hail Skynet. podcast wherever you do your podcast listening. And if you're watching us live right now, please join in with your comments and your questions.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for tuning in, all the regulators that are joining us live right now. And Terry, back to that intro segment thing. We want all the voices, right? That doesn't have to be, we've had vendors, we've had, different people that have been part of that, but regulators, decorators, right? Whoever, we want those voices on there. You just, get to be part of the show. So you just go to, for the podcast listeners here, go to decorators.inc, INK /intro, INTRO. So, all right.
It's 20 seconds out of your day.
That's right. That's right.
And
you get to be,
you can live in, not infamy.
Maybe infamy. I don't know. Who knows? All right. Well, real quick before we get Theresa in here, I do have a little piece of, basically now I feel like I'm piggybacking off of Adrian's segment there, but a little bit about mindset here real quick from our success group. So I want to share with you 3 mental states most business owners struggle to master. It's goal setting so that you believe it's possible. It's facing fears to be able to step outside of your comfort zone. And finally, taking action even when you're not sure what action to take. Now, 90% of the challenges business owners have faced have nothing to do with the nuts and bolts of running a business. It's not the accounting, the production, or even the marketing. It is the mindset. Now, as entrepreneurs, we need to cultivate a mindset that we were never taught in school. All right. I know it was a little bit of a cliffhanger, but I promise it's not intentional. I'm not trying to bait you into anything. Just didn't want to have it go on forever. So if you want to go watch more, just go to that osg.link /mindset and learn a little bit more about that business owner mindset. So, Terry, you ready? Are you?
I'm ready. Let's
I'm excited.
Bring Theresa in.
I'm excited. So yeah, Eric, whenever you're ready, let's bring Theresa in here and we'll welcome her back. Hello there. Welcome back to the Two Regular Guys podcast.
How are you guys?
We
awesome.
Are doing
good to
great.
see you again.
Yeah, definitely.
And it was Atlantic City.
Okay,
good. All right, good. We got that cleared up. Well, all right. So it has been too long, as we discussed. And in the past, we've had you on to talk about the ASI State of the Industry report. And we definitely want to do that. We want to cover that at a not too distant future here.
Yeah,
so
it'll be coming out this summer. So
this summer? Okay, cool.
Fresh.
Cool. We'll put it on our calendar to reach out on that. But you shared with us a cool program that you guys are launching here. And so we're really excited to talk to you about that and just all things surrounding that. But before we kind of dive into that, give our listeners, anybody that hasn't had a chance to meet you yet, give our listeners a little bit about you, a little bit about ASI and the Promo for the Planet Initiative. Just give us the quick 101 there.
All right. I'm Theresa Hegel. I've been with ASI Media for 9 years. I'm the executive editor of digital content. Before that, I was a newspaper journalist for many years. So that's where I come to things from. I've always been kind of a writer, editor, word person. But ASI, as I'm sure many people are aware, is like a media and technology company for the promotional products industry. So we have all kinds of, solutions and things for people. But I'm in the editorial side. I write for the website and the magazine, Counselor Magazine. And last year on Earth Day, we started Promo for the Planet, which is kind of an educational resource hub where we talk about all things sustainability and how people in the promo industry can become more sustainable, things that they need to know. It has has a glossary with definitions, explanations of different certifications that are out there. And we also, actually, this year we just launched something new called the Do-Gooders Directory, which is a listing of different suppliers and distributors, talking about the give back programs they have, whether or not they're like a B Corp or have another kind of certification, and just kind of any kind of charitable initiative they have. So it's a nice little you can, if you don't know that much about a company, you kind of go look at this directory and see, oh, they're doing this, or oh, they're 1% for the planet. And it has a lot on there, but it's not exhaustive yet. So, if you were looking at it like, oh, why am I not on there? Or why is this person not on there? Like, reach out to me and we'll get that rectified. I update it every week, but we just wanted to get it started. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Well, sustainability is kind of a catchphrase right now. Everybody needs to have that on their website, right? But Theresa, talk to us a little bit about why it's not just a trend, but it's a long-term commitment, specifically in the promotional products industry.
Yeah, I mean, I think when we started the Promo for the Planet site last year, I was a little skeptical that I would have enough content to keep this going. Because I committed, I was like, I'm going to have something new on there every week. I'm going to do this. It's going to be a thing. And I was like, is it really going to be that easy? But it actually has been. There's always something new that people in the industry are doing, or just like information that people need to be aware of. So I would say, and this is what a lot of people have told me, is just that, maybe back in like 2007 or 2008, sustainability, like eco-friendly stuff, that was kind of a trend. And it sort of went away with the recession. But during the pandemic, it's really come back. But I think this time around, it's a little bit different, because it's not just a little added bonus or something like, it's not a nice to have anymore. It's something that you kind of have to have, because consumers expect it, brands expect it. They want to know what you're doing. They need and I think a lot of, suppliers and distributors that I've talked to, they said this is what big brands are asking for in like RFPs. They want to know, what your supply chain is. They want to know, what makes this sustainable. That all is part of the deal now. It's not just like, oh, a couple of people are doing this because it's fun. This is what people need to know.
Yeah. Wow. That's great. That's great that that's trending that way, that people are starting to understand. Like I said, it's not just a fun thing to put on your website. It's actually a commitment to doing better for everybody. So
yeah, and to do it right, it does have to be a long-term commitment, right? You have to actually, it's a multi-step process, and you're always improving. So it can't be a trend.
Yeah. Okay.
I apologize. I have allergies, so I'm trying not to cough or.
You're doing a fantastic job. So
it is that time of year.
Yes, it is, for sure. Well, okay. So you talked about it being a commitment, and as people are looking at this and saying, okay, I know that I need to commit to this. But I haven't been there, right? So you've been working on this for well over a year now. What do you kind of see as the initial steps that, if somebody's kind of getting started on that journey, what can they do to, measure and maybe reduce their environmental impact?
Yeah, well, I think measuring is key. That's the very first step you should be taking. And this is what lots of people like. So I'm not an expert on anything. I just like to talk to experts. So I'm kind of regurgitating what other people have told me.
That's us.
That's us. Yeah.
So, but what the big thing that people always say is that you need to measure where you are now. You need to get that baseline, right? How much energy are you using? How much waste are you generating? Where is it going? Like, what's your carbon footprint? You don't know, like, any reductions or any changes you make kind of lack meaning if you don't know where you're starting out from. So you need to know where you are to figure out where you're going. So you can maybe, like, that's something you can maybe do yourself, or you can, work with a consultant. A lot of companies right now are becoming B Corps, becoming certified. And that is like a very rigorous kind of assessment process. But even if you don't intend to do that, I've heard people say you should just go through the little assessment tool just to see where you are. You know what I mean? You may not go through the whole process, pay the money, or do all the stuff that requires you to be a B Corp, but you could take that test and kind of, it'll give you an idea of where you need to change. So that's an idea. You can always work with an expert. There's plenty of people out there that specialize in this, but you can just, you measure it. And then I think, so it's not too daunting. I think it's okay to start small. Like, maybe you just do, invest in more efficient, like energy efficient lighting, or look into like solar panels, or, maybe you start like a policy where you're reusing your cardboard boxes. You know what I mean? Like, I know, I think it was the first time I heard this, I thought this was so clever. Was it Rick Roth? Maybe he was talking about how they just have a sticker they'll put on boxes that say, "Hey, this is a recycle. We're reusing this box intentionally. So it may look like it's coming from somewhere else, but this is like an eco-friendly thing that we are choosing to do." So you can still kind of market it that way, even though people will be like, "Why are you sending me this old box? This is not like a Gildan box or something that we don't." You know what I mean? But like you put the sticker on there, and then it shows like, hey, this is an intentional thing we are doing. And I think that builds goodwill, and it's like, oh, it makes people think. So I thought that was a really clever idea, and it's a very simple thing to do.
Sure.
But I mean, there's also lots of companies, I think, like Eco Enclosed, that have like sustainable packaging solutions. So like, how can we get rid of like packing peanuts, or like those plastic bubble wrap things? There's different things that you can do to make your the shipping greener. And I guess another thing is just educating yourself and then educating your clients. So they're not going to make, like, some clients, some customers want this, but they don't necessarily know what they want. So you need to kind of lead them in the direction of what the better choices are that are out there.
Nice.
I can picture Rick also saying, "And look, I got a free box." But it's good for everybody. But and I think one of the things that you said there is just start. And it's like anything, just do one thing, because it can be kind of daunting to say, okay, we're redoing the way we do business, starting with this, and this. Just do one thing, and then it will build upon itself.
Well, like Aaron said, you got to set some goals, right? So you can, just like you have to set goals for your business, you can set goals for sustainability. It's the same thing. So like I would say, like, most businesses need to know their financials really well, and they should be tracking that. In the same way, you should be tracking these sustainability kind of metrics, which I think will also help you with your financials, because it can be a money saving thing if you're saving energy, or if you're not throwing away as many things. So, I mean, it's all kind of interconnected.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
Awesome. What a great way to put that. Thank you.
Well, something that we've been hearing really this year on the show is circular economy, and so that terminology is really gaining momentum. How do you see the circular economy, the impact specifically within the promotional products industry, in the short term and long term?
Yeah, I mean, that whole concept is something I've been hearing a lot more as well. And we did just write a whole cover article about the circular economy, which was in our the Promo for the Planet issue of Counselor Magazine, and it is on our website too. So I go into that in a lot of detail, but the circular economy is kind of this idea about, reusing items, designing them from the beginning with the idea that they're going to have like a high value, be used for a long time, but also designing them so that they can be easily recycled or easily ecologically or whatever, environmentally, like, disposed of. So I think it's the Ellen MacArthur Foundation does a lot with the circular economy, and they talk about, the three principles are eliminating waste and pollution, circulating products and material at their highest value, and regenerating nature. So I think one of the big things with the circular economy is, if you start embracing it, it's also a way to kind of raise the profile of the promo industry and the t-shirt business, so that you're kind of like elevating it above that kind of bad reputation of it being like trinkets and trash. If you can be like, no, we're making these like high quality things that people use for a long time. And I mean, like, we all know that there's like, maybe there's some truth to this bad reputation, but there's also so much more than that.
Yeah.
But it's something that we have to work against. And I think being able to show that people are following these the circular economy is one way to show, like, no, we're thinking about what happens to this product when it's at the end of its life, or we're that they want, and it's a high quality item that's going to last for like years to come. So I think the value is a lot of it's reputational, and it's it's good for everybody to be getting people promo items and t-shirts and wearables and things that they actually want to receive, and things that, are functional and work well and are going to last. So
Yeah,
it seems like it's actually kind of a simple concept, and it should be something we were doing all along, but now people are actually talking about it more.
yeah, yeah. That's so true, and I love that. In fact, I remember, just in the promo products world in general, right? The discussion, changing that discussion from trinkets and trash to, number of impressions. It, instead of just giving somebody a hat, for example, that they're going to, maybe wear once and throw away, why not give them their favorite hat that they're going to hold on to for 15 years? And just imagine how many times your logo is going to get seen with that favorite hat. And I mean, just like you said, we should have been doing that before it impacted the sustainability thing. But to bring this into this circular economy, I think that's a great way to put it. And that's that's the best I've ever heard it explained too. So thank you.
Well, I did write a really long article on it, so hopefully I got something.
No, I thought it was awesome.
well, Theresa, when you started working there 9 years ago, didn't they give you a list of phrases you're not allowed to say? And trinkets and trash was on the top of that list.
No, but they probably should have. It took me a long time to even understand what a promo product was, even after I started working at ASI, which is kind of bad, but I think I've got it now. So.
Yeah. Stick with what you're good at. All this, the writing and the wonderful stuff. Okay. Well, I love this idea, and I think this understanding of it, as you've been writing about it, as you've been working on it, have you kind of seen any particular examples that you'd be able to share with us of people, maybe in the supply chain of promotional products, and then kind of what the benefits of focusing on that for their business and the environment?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm hearing more and more examples like all the time. So there's a lot of companies that are doing more things like upcycling. Like I think it was like Redwood Classics apparel. They would take it was actually really cool. I think it was like flags from like not like the Olympics, but some kind of like Toronto Games or something. They took the flags and then upcycled them into like bags that you could then buy. So then instead of throwing away that item, it became a new cool like promo product. I think it was Botanical Paperworks recently started taking old wooden pallets and upcycling them into soap dishes and coasters, which I think that's cool, because there are a lot of pallets that just get trashed. So there's plenty of raw material for that. Of course, there's like Everywhere Apparel that makes t-shirts from recycled cotton, and they have like that whole kind of closed loop production where you can they have a take back program where you can send your old shirts to them and then they'll get it like remade into new fibers. So that's pretty cool. And then even just I've been hearing more about, on the side of like regenerating nature, a lot of companies are starting to partner with Veritree, which is it's a sister company too. Do you know that company Tentree it's like an apparel company that for every clothing item, I think they have 10 trees planted.
Oh, okay.
That's why they're called Tentree.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've been doing that for a while, but I guess what they had run into was discovering that a lot of these tree planting initiatives that they thought they were investing in couldn't really be verified, or they would go back and like the impact wasn't really there. So like it was very frustrating for them. So they started Veritree, where you actually have like this public dashboard and you can pick like where like they have like tree planting programs and kelp planting programs, but you actually can see where that's being planted, how many are planted, and I guess it's like all kind of verified through the blockchain, but it's like really all about having this very high value give back, nature regeneration element. So I think it was Fairwear is one of the ones that is doing it. Social Imprints and ETS Express, I think, is another one. So they all have this built into, whether it's like a specific line of things that they're doing, they'll have a tree planted for, each product or like every product, but it's all transparent. You can go onto these public dashboards and see exactly how many trees have been planted so far. So I think that's kind of been a big trend too,
Cool.
which is awesome.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Real quick, Terry, before we get to the next question for Theresa, Eric said stealing from Jeremy Picker, ending brand fill. That concept of, yep, here's your you go to that trade show, you get your bag full of merch, and that is in the trash can outside the front door, right? Because
I mean, I think that sums it up. I love the brand fill term because it's, I mean, I don't love brand fill, but it's a very pithy way of putting what we don't want to be doing.
Yeah, that's totally cool. And Eric did put a link in there for those that are tuned in here. It's Veritree, VERI tree.com if you want to go learn more about that. So awesome stuff. All right, Terry, I'll get out of the way again.
Along those lines, everybody has to be talking sustainability right now. So what you're talking about, greenwashing, is a concern. And I don't know why my mind works very weirdly, but years ago, there was a Simpsons episode where they had Mr. Burns had a recycling center and all the recycling trucks were going in the front and the back was just open to the ocean and all this stuff was just going out the back. So how can industry professionals, and you've already touched on this, but how can buyers navigate through all these claims and identify what is genuinely a sustainability effort?
Yeah, I mean, it can get tricky for sure. I think one of the big things is just being willing, like, communicate with your suppliers, ask them deeper questions, don't just take anything at face value. If they're just jumping on the bandwagon and can't really answer specific questions about what they're claiming, then that's probably greenwashing. I mean, a lot of the suppliers that I've talked to in the last year about this, they specifically say we want people to be asking us questions. People are not asking enough questions, so you have to have that curiosity and want to know, well, what, like you said this, but what does that actually mean? Look for a transparency, look for, a lot of companies are putting out, like, the corporate social responsibility, reports or ESG reports every year. So, read through them, see what they're saying, see what they said they've done. Ask for documentation. If they say that they're using, organic cotton or recycled cotton or the RPET, like, they got to show their work, basically. Show us, where is this actually coming from? You can say, people say lots of things, it doesn't make it true. Another thing I think is a lot of times, especially bigger brands, they'll do like these, really highfalutin kind of pledges that are like, we're going to be carbon neutral by 2040, or we're going to get rid of all, plastic by 2050, or, whatever it is. But it's like so far in the future that sounds good, but it's kind of meaningless.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing today? It reminds me of conversations with Mel Lay from All Made Apparel. If you say, hey, Mel, explain to me, what you're doing, prove to me what you're doing, pull up a chair, because she will tell you a tale.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, that's the thing. I feel like the people that are actually into sustainability, they love to talk about it. They're going to want to have that conversation, and they know what they're talking about. So just, you got to be willing to, like, ask questions and listen, and you'll learn a lot, and probably it'll show that this is not greenwashing. But like, if they have like a pledge that's like far in the future, look at what are they doing right now? How are they actually going to get there? I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with, like, long-term goals, but if it's just a way to be, like, kind of kicking the can down the road, like, that's not really helpful to anyone. And it's like, those get big, those announcements get big press, but those small kind of actions to get there are sort of not shown as much.
It's a better story to say that this past year we reduced our waste by 20%. Our dumpster is 20% less full. That's something I'm doing today. That's what I think, and I think that's what people want to hear. That those claims of down the road, I think that just kind of, people are like, yeah, maybe.
But they do, like Theresa said, that they do get a lot of press, though, those big claims, right?
Sure.
Oh, this big brand's going to be carbon neutral by 2050, and we all go, oh wow, look at what they're doing. but it's really just a marketing spin. Like Theresa said, you need to be asking the questions of what are you doing today? I love that. And then I think that's also interesting, right? Because some of this, we're talking about, okay, what does this mean for sustainability? But in a way, some of these things are business practices that we really need to be doing anyways, regardless of what this, term we put on it is, because talking to your vendors and having that relationship with them to ask them actual questions about what they're doing. Right. I always tell people in my seminars, if your relationship with your vendor is your login for their website, you got a problem. You got to fix that. And so this is a great way to jump in there and say, hey, what are you doing about sustainability? Let's start talking about that. So, all right. Well, Terry, what you want to keep us moving here?
Absolutely.
I think we've covered that. You gave us some great signs of greenwashing.
I guess another one I would say would just be people like, if you just have kind of unsubstantiated kind of feel good claims like, oh, it's natural, oh, it's sustainable, that doesn't actually mean anything. Like, that's not regulated. So, you need to like dig deeper than that. If it just is like, oh, look, we did a commercial, it's like set in a forest. Isn't this great? Like, that's okay. that doesn't mean anything either. So companies that aren't divulging any details that are like about their efforts, that's kind of suspect. And we're saying something's recyclable and compostable, but then you find out that like, oh, it can't actually just be picked up in a curbside program. You have to send it out somewhere special to get it recycled. Like, that's kind of suspect. Or if it's compostable, but it can't be put in a backyard composting thing, it has to go to an industrial site, that's problematic. So like, there's lots of like claims people are making, but like, are they really what the general public expects when they hear it? Like, if you hear something's recyclable, you think, oh, I can just put it out every week with my, in the blue bin. But that's not always what like a company is saying when they say that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so you've really touched on this already, but what are some other ways that businesses can vet suppliers and distributors to prove that yes, we're actually doing these things?
I think like we've been saying all along, build relationships, have conversations. Like I said, the people that are doing this and are into it, they love to talk about it. They want you to ask those tough questions. They want you to challenge them because it makes them better too. Like, if they don't, I feel like I've heard people say this, like, if they don't have the answer right away, they're going to find it because like maybe it's something that they should have been thinking about but haven't been. So I don't think you're going to like make them if it's people that are truly into this, you're not going to make them angry by asking them tough questions. They want to be challenged. So do your homework. Don't take things at face value. Ask for the documentation. If they say that they're doing something, ask for that, the paperwork. And if they're reputable, they should have it. Look for well-known certifications. Look for like if it's a B Corp or if they're EcoVadis or any of those kinds of well-known kind of respected certifications that people understand what it means to have that little seal on their company.
It's funny. My daughter-in-law lives in New York City. She was looking at the bottom of a bottle and she was explaining to me all these different things. Well, this means that it's made from recycle. This means that you can recycle it. This means this means that. And I'm like, I'm impressed that that. Most people don't. You see the little symbol on there and think, okay, this is all good.
I love it. Get more deep details, going a little bit deeper. I think that's probably something we all need to do in a lot of things. But okay, Theresa, so at the beginning, as you were telling us about this initiative, you mentioned a new thing that you guys are doing this year, the do-gooder portion of that initiative. So I'm kind of jumping off track here a little bit, but that's what we do here at Two Regular Guys, so that's okay. But tell us more about that. Give us a little bit more detail on what that's all about and what you're seeing come out of that.
Yeah, so I think basically it's kind of something people have been asking for, wanting to know. People are really they love to know like about give back programs that a supplier has, anything they can support, but there was not really like a comprehensive list of these. So that's what we're trying to do with the do-gooders directory. But it goes beyond just like, they'll give 1% to this charity.
Yeah.
For if you buy whatever thing. Yeah. I also have, like, if it's a B Corp, we list that. If they have an EcoVadis like silver badge, that's listed. And it's basically just kind of an alphabetical listing, broken up. There's suppliers, and then I have distributors also. But just basically, like, what are they doing? A little kind of short paragraph, just kind of summing up some of the efforts that they've made. And I usually link back to most companies now have like a social responsibility tab on their website, or the place where you can get like their ESG report. So I'll link back to that if they have it, just so if you don't take my like little paragraph as like the gospel, like you can go back to the source, like, which I've been saying all along, you need to go to the source and ask them. But this is just like a nice little directory where you can find out some information, see what people are doing, see how it aligns with what you want to do. And like I said, it is not complete yet. It's something that I'm updating it every week. People have reached out to me, wanting to talk about things that they haven't talked about yet, or like maybe I just missed them. So, we're adding new companies all the time. And I think it's one of those things, like every year we'll kind of revisit it and update it to make sure that it has the most recent like initiatives that people have.
Yeah.
So how does somebody get on that list? And they reach out to you? You're personally out there looking for these people?
Well, so in the beginning, to get it started, I kind of went back through our own archive, because we've written about a lot of these things already. It was just in like individual article form. So I was like, okay, we need to find, I know this company isn't a B Corp. I know, this company does that. Or I know this person, donated like $200,000 to charity last year. So I kind of went back through our archive, put everything together. We sort of, had a general call to different suppliers, like, hey, what are you doing right now? So now it's kind of assembled. Now it's sort of like, if I see something, I'll add it, but like people should just be like emailing me if they don't see themselves on there. Don't like wait for me to find you. Like, send me an email and we'll get it fixed.
And I guess once you reach a certain point, then it kind of takes on a life of its own, and people are calling you saying, hey, I want to be on this list. Here's what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like, and I knew from the beginning, like I was expecting to get a lot of emails and calls, and I have, but I knew it wasn't complete. I knew that, but there's no way, like, how are you going to get something like that complete right from the beginning? You're always going to miss someone. So like I've never made the claim that this is like a comprehensive end all list. No, this is like a living document that is always going to be updated. So tell me what you're doing and we'll get it listed on there.
Yeah, I love that. And honestly, if you are working with somebody, right, I'm sure you could quote unquote nominate somebody to be part of that. So send an email, send her an email. Awesome.
Yeah. Just let me know. I mean, like I'll look into it and then we add it if it's
maybe we need
like the, parameters.
Maybe we need a sustainability Reggie Award this year.
Ooh.
What do you think?
I like it.
Teresa, we may need your help to get that put together.
Yes. I'm put that on the junior yellow legal pad, Terry. That's a good one.
Got
it. All right. Awesome. Well, okay. So this has been great. You've given us tons of examples. You've given us plenty of strategies that we can use and stuff like that. But are there some other success stories out there that you might be able to highlight for us? I guess also kind of tell us about, their integration into this being part of their core business. Again, not just a marketing initiative. And maybe at this point, they've been doing it long enough that they're able to see some results in both their company and the environmental impact.
Yeah. Well, actually, I have a really good example. Speaking of adding things to awards, last year we have the promo campaign awards every year. Last year was the first year we had a sustainability category. And the company that won that was Corporate Imaging Concepts, which I believe they're a top 40 distributor. But they had done this work with Microsoft. Microsoft wanted to put together thank you gifts for, I think, all the partners and employees who had worked on putting Windows 11 together. So Corporate Imaging Concepts worked with them to come up with it was like a little collection of items, like a cozy blanket, a hoodie made of that was ethically sourced and made from recycled materials, maybe like a reusable water bottle, and just a couple of things, and people were able to go online and pick the ones that they wanted. Like if there was one that they didn't want, they didn't have to receive that award, that gift, but they could pick their sizing, pick the items they want, which in and of itself I think is like a sustainability thing, because then you're not sending people stuff that they're not going to use. They're only getting what they want. Yeah. But then beyond that, for every piece of swag that they delivered, Corporate Imaging Concepts had a mangrove tree planted in Madagascar, which I guess mangroves are considered great for like climate mitigation because I think they like suck up an extra amount of like carbon or something. I don't know exactly what the science is, but they're a good thing to be planted. And so I guess they had like 60,000 trees planted as part of this program. And they estimated that it was like 12,973 tons of carbon that were sequestered from the efforts. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I think they got like tons of positive feedback. Like everyone loved it. So it's like you're getting a really nice gift, but you also feel good about it because it's doing something good for the environment. So I think like that combination of a thoughtful gift, using technology to make sure you're only getting what you want, but also having that give back element kind of makes it like a perfect thing. Because like talking about not wanting trinkets and trash, you see lots of companies are like, oh, we don't give out swag anymore. We just, we'll give them a certificate that says we planted a tree. I'm like, well, that's nice, but I don't know. I think people still do want gifts. People still like to get stuff.
We've got to have something to hold on to, right? It's that connects us with that brand.
Right,
so I think you're right.
So I don't I think that's a little short-sighted, the ones that like take that big kind of huffy stance, like we don't send stuff out, like we're too good for that. We like you can send people things and plant a tree and do some kind of give back. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be an either or.
Yeah.
And I think that was a really great example of kind of combining all of those elements.
Yeah.
And I think Microsoft, I think everyone that received it really liked it. So it really went over well for them. And that's probably why they won.
There you go.
Another one that I just did recently, this is a smaller thing, but Promo Shop, they were doing just an Earth Day focused self-promo. They had sent out these, they were slingshots that had little like seed balls so you could kind of, I guess, slingshot like balls of like, wildflower seeds into areas that were, I don't know, that were just like dirt or something. So they sent those out, and they were sent in like a recycled poly mailer. And it was I just liked it because it's a simple thing, but it's very fun, right? Like sometimes when you're talking about sustainability, it can be a little grim. It can be a little like, it's like, are we only focusing on like all the bad things that are happening in the world? It's upsetting, but I think it still can be fun. I think you can make it something that's exciting for people. Like that's like, if you're actually slinging these seed balls into places, you're doing something that's good for the environment, but it's a fun thing to do. And they said, like, I don't think they had the ROI on sending that out yet, but definitely they had gotten a lot of positive response from their customers. And I think it's going to spark ideas for future orders. So, it's not like not something you can directly measure right away, but it's definitely a win-win for them.
Yeah. Well, I think when you think of a company like that, and when you hear that company name, you're going to think about that, and it's going to make you smile. And and isn't that what it's all about, right? I love that idea. I want one of those.
And I think so. They told me they found that product at like the New York gift show, and they actually liked it so much that they just kind of bought out their whole stock of them at that time. There were like 200, I think, that they had. But I think the company is called Modern Sprout, and in the promo industry, I think it's Gemline that might offer some of their products. They have all kinds of different like cool plants. So
cool.
I mean, I don't know if the slingshot is in there, but there's other things that are like fun that are available too. So
that's
awesome.
I
mean, there's lots, like I also really love any like of the seed paper that you can like, like a business card or any kind of like mailer, but it's actually made of recycled paper that has seeds in it, and then you can just plant it. So there's like no waste at the end. I see a lot of companies that are doing that now, and those are really cool.
Wow. I'm going to have to look into. I hadn't heard of that one actually yet. So.
Oh, and then another one that I really like, I'm sorry not to just keep talking, but
keep going. No, go.
The one, I think a lot of people are into this company, Refresh Glass. Have you heard of that one? So they take old wine bottles and basically like cut the top off. It's basically trash. This is literal trash, and they turned it into like really nice drinkware that's like etched, and it's in like a cool like cardboard case, and it like tells the whole story. People really like those, and they're really nice glasses. And it's like you have this nice, nice glass, and then you can say, yeah, this was trash. This was literally trash. So because I guess there's some issues with recycling glass can be like, I guess, a trickier prospect. I don't know all the technical details, but this kind of diverts them from ever ending up in like a landfill. He has, I think the guy who owns it has like, he has partnerships with like restaurants and bars and stuff, and can take just their trash and then turn it into items. And you could actually, another thing that would be really cool is like, if you have like a client who is a winery, they can, if they have enough empties, they can actually have their empties turned into, their own promo glasses, which I think is cool. Like, this used to be one of our wine bottles, but now it is our drinking glass.
That's really cool. I love that.
That's awesome. I love that. Wonder if you could do that with beer bottles. I might have some stock in that.
I'm sure. Well, we just had Lori Champagne on, so maybe she can help us engrave those for you, Terry. So.
That's right.
2 Radio Guys logos on those.
All right, Theresa. It's been awesome having you on the show again.
Yes.
How can people find out more? How can they connect with you?
Yeah, I think that you guys have put the website on. It's asicentral.com/promo for the planet. You can reach me on email, thegel, the gel, basically at asicentral.com. I'm also on Twitter at Theresa Hegel. I'm on LinkedIn just under my name. I don't know what the special, thing is, but I know I feel like LinkedIn has been getting really like big for the industry. So I feel like there's a lot more action there now. So I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram somewhere. I'm even on TikTok. I haven't posted anything in a while, but I am on TikTok. So. I mean, just start anywhere if you try.
Yeah, you can just find. Awesome. And the email is my favorite, right?
Yeah.
So. Cool. This has been great. We really appreciate it. And thanks for all that work that you're doing to make this something that is something we can talk about here in the industry.
Yeah. And I mean, I'd love to do more, like if people have ideas of stories or things that they're want to know more about, like reach out to me with your stories, reach out to me with questions. Like I'm always looking for more content. And I'd love to get get that intersection of sustainability and apparel decoration too. So I'd love to do more, stuff of that nature too. So I would love to hear from you.
Awesome.
Anybody.
Definitely. Well, all right, you guys, you've got your job there. Reach out and make sure that you're connecting and getting that content over there to Theresa. Theresa, thank you so much for your time. And we'll look forward to bringing you back soon to talk about that State of the Industry report and getting your help to make that Reggie Award too. So.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. You should
awesome. Thank you. Have a great day.
All right, bye.
Fantastic. I love the examples,
Yeah. And then that creativity starts going. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to go get all these things, right? I need the seed paper, I need the bombs, I need the
I need that slingshot, man.
Yeah. And then I'm like, I don't really need any of it, but darn it, it sounds cool.
Everybody was having a good time till somebody lost an eye.
Well, thanks very much. That was great stuff. And thank you guys for tuning in and if you have any questions for Theresa, make sure that you do reach out. But let's see here. How about we start with let's start with Eric today. Terry, what do you say? I can share what he's got, and then
absolutely jump in there.
Yeah, we can figure out where Terry's big book of travels is going to take him after that. But all right. Well, today is the Take Up episode 152. Thinking small, tiny text, and thin thread. And it's a perennial topic for digitizers and embroiderers. Eric's going to be discussing methods for making tiny text and details, including where it could go wrong, right? What to avoid, the pitfalls to avoid. So if you'll head over to ericcampbell.com and click on the Take Up tab at the top, you'll see all the links there. And make sure that you are joining that program live today at 2:30 Mountain Time to share your insights. And Terry, before you get into the Mountain Standard, Daylight, blah, 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 let's just call it 3:30 Central Time. No. So anyhow, 2:30 Mountain Time. And what is it, Terry? Is it Standard? and you're in daylight, or what?
Eric is in Mountain Daylight Time, and I'm in Mountain Standard Time.
All right. So 2:30 Mountain Daylight Time.
Correct.
Anyhow, so make sure that you check him out there at 2:30 Mountain. The Take Up, ericcampbell.com is where you can get all the links, and then you can go join live through his social media channels there. Eric will also be out at Impressions Fort Worth, and Eric will host Presenting Embroidery's Value Proposition, and that will be on Thursday, September 14th from 9 a.m. until 10:15 a.m. And there's a chance I actually might be out there with you as well, Eric. So Terry, are you maybe heading to
I
Fort Worth?
believe that I will be there as well.
Awesome.
I might be doing the moderating a panel and maybe doing another seminar. And I believe Jay Bassell will be joining me as well. So
awesome. All right. Well, we may have
a new addition to the Terry's Big Book of Travel.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Well, so that's what Eric's got going on. What about you, Terry? Where's the Big Book of Travel taking you?
Well, my complete screen printing business course, I'm going to be at Workhorse Products here in Phoenix on June 3rd and 4th. And then the following week, I'm going to be at Atlas Screen Supply in Chicago on June 10th and 11th. And all my upcoming events you can find at terrycombs.com. How about you, Aaron?
Yeah, so June 14th is not too far away, right around the corner here. We've got Start Here Academy happening the day before the Graphics Pro Expo out there in Indianapolis, Indiana. So if you'll go over to osg.link/SHA, you can get all the details. You can sign up, you just register for the show, and you can sign up for that event for free. So no charge to be there, but you do need to come the day before. So it happens, I think the doors open at like 3 o'clock and it goes until about 8 o'clock that evening. And just a fantastic event, and one that I'm super excited to be part of. We talked to Lori Champagne not too long ago, and she's going to be one of the speakers. In a couple of weeks, we've got another one of the speakers that'll be there. So I think it's going to be a fantastic event. If you're anywhere in the Midwest, it's worth the trip. Even if you're not in the Midwest, I'd say it's worth the trip. The Indie show is normally one of the larger ones for the folks over there at Graphics Pro. So come on out and check that out. Also, not a show necessarily to go to, but always looking for support, and anybody that wants to learn more or be part of a program called Skills USA. And it is a fantastic organization. And what we're doing, this is in the sublimation world. There is also a screen print competition as well that I'm not as involved in. They keep trying to ask me to, but I keep telling them no, because I've got my hands full with the sublimation side of things. But this culmination of the event for the kids, in fact, I think most of the state competitions are going on now, or they're just wrapping up. And then those kids will earn a right to come out to the national competition, which is happening June 20th through the 22nd, I believe are the dates that week of June 20th there. And they'll be converging on Atlanta. This event is incredible. Just to come by and check it out, because, okay, you got screen printing, you've got sublimation, you've got some other things. Anything that you could think of is going to be under the roof there at the Atlanta Convention Center. If you've never been to the Atlanta Convention Center, it is a huge convention center, and they're taking up every single one of the venues there. So the entire convention center is going to be full of Skills USA. I think there's about 150 different competitions that'll be going on, from electrical to construction to car repair to graphic design to culinary, hair and nails. And like I said, we've got our place there in sublimation and screen printing. So just come check it out and see what these young people are doing. There's a real passion for our industry there. And if you want to support it, if you want to, check it out, you want to learn more, not only supporting the national competition, but being able to support some of your local and state competitions and whatnot is going to be of huge value as well. So just reach out to me, Aaron at tworegularguys.com, and I can get you more details. And, we've got some great people already said that they're going to support us, but I'm never turning away any support. So, exactly. All right. And then Terry, Michelle Novell, she had shared a YouTube link in there that you can go watch if you go over to the Facebook comments there. How to make a beer bottle into a glass. So
all right.
Check that out. All right, Terry. Well, what a great day today. I want to thank Theresa again for her time, and make sure you get over there to ASI and check that out, and make sure that you're also reaching out to her, sharing any content ideas or people that maybe she should be in touch with for sustainability, for all of these cool things that they've got going on over there. And then we will look forward to having her back sometime after the summertime to talk about that state of the industry report. So Terry, it's been great. It's been an awesome show.
Yeah, absolutely. And we want to thank Eric Campbell for being our show producer and doing things like sending me this message. Terry, are you on your way, sir?
Somebody's got to herd these cats, Eric, and you are the man. So we appreciate you very much, sir. Your efforts do not go unnoticed by us. Hopefully you regulators realize that this show would not be possible without Eric. We've been spoiled. So thank you, Eric. Terry, next week, kind of a big deal. You know, we're going to figure out how to best celebrate, but I'm still trying to talk my wife into letting me set off another one of those confetti cannons. So we'll see how that goes. I did ship them to you guys as well. So I don't know if you got them yet, so you can set them off too. Oh, I'm just kidding. I did not, but I might think about that now. Anyhow, next week.
I'm just going to say now, I'm not allowed.
I know, but that's what will make it so much fun. All right. So next week, Terry, is the 500th episode. It just blows my mind. 500 episodes. So we're going to obviously do a little review. We're going to do, kind of some of our favorite moments, just kind of some opportunity to kind of harken back. So we need you guys, the regulators, to show up and make sure that you share some of your key takeaways, some of your favorite moments, things like that. And then we're also going to talk a little bit about, what we foresee the future, right? Okay. Episode 500. What do we think is going to happen by episode 1000? Right. So,
and Eric will be joining us live as well.
He will be on screen.
On camera.
We will still make him push the buttons, but that's poor guy. He's great at it. So anyways, and Kim Johnson says no, so I don't know. Come on, Kim, it's just one time. It'll be fine. Even though it's 6 months later, I think I still find some of it. But
I was going to say one time for a lifetime of confetti.
That's right. I can't wait. Super excited about next week, Terry.
Me too. And tell your friends, anybody who's a regulator out there, we'd love to have you on the show for the 500th and come and join us and share your thoughts as well. And it's going to be a fun day. But until then, I'm Terry Combs. He's Aaron Montgomery.
And that was the Two Regular Guys.
Here we go. We're out.
Awesome.
Thank you for listening to Two Regular Guys. Check out our website at tworegularguys.com. That's the number 2, regularguys.com. You can also interact with us over at our Facebook page, facebook.com/tworegularguys, or send us a tweet, twitter.com/tworegularguys. And we have a YouTube page. You can find all that from our website, tworegularguys.com. Thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to spending some time with you again next week.